Hey everyone, back with a different tutorial. This one is a follow-up to the last one I did where we got into using the logic compressor and getting that bass out of the way of the kick. This time we're going to focus on just getting that click sound that the compressor made in the last video, and you probably noticed when you play it, and I'll give you a sample of that right now. This is what it sounds like. I don't know if we can hear that, but that's like a click on the top of that. It's all up here. But basically, when that compressor kicks in, and since it's such a huge dramatic change in volume, as the attack goes up, the compressor clicks. So what we need to do to get that out of the way, well, in the last tutorial I showed how to use a ducking plugin, but I had a request to find some way in the in stock Logic plugins to get rid of it. So I found a couple ways to do it. So we'll just start with the easiest one and then work our way over. So if you're using a sidechain trigger, one thing I see mentioned a lot online is to just use a negative delay, and we'll try that out right now. But so I just take this sub bass that I have here, Serum, same thing, just as sine wave, and we have the compressor, which is the vintage FET, and it's being fed by the sidechain trigger. And my sidechain trigger in this case is just like the stock metronome Klopfgeist in Logic, and that has no sound. It's set to no output here, and just a little bit of gain, just to to make sure that I'm getting it with the compressor. So here we go. If I were to just throw a negative delay, and I'll play it at the same time as the bass so you can kind of hear that as it happens. Let's make sure everything's muted. Okay, so you hear that click, it's audible, and let's just go to a negative delay. I was messing around, I think about 10 ticks. And I don't know if you hear that, but it got significantly quieter there. You can play around with this value, but it starts to go up. 10 was the sweet spot I found. Still has it's still there, but it's significantly less. And I think, yeah. So negative 10 ticks, and I've seen that mentioned a lot online, is to go do a negative delay. So that's one way that you can get rid of that clicking sound, or at least significantly reduce it. Another way, it's a little more involved, but depending on your workflow, maybe it'll be, maybe it's not, maybe it's nothing crazy, but this one is just throwing some automation, and you got to find that spot right where that click happens. But once you find it, generally, you can just copy and paste it along, and you might have to adjust these a little bit, but all I did is just basically volume automation. So let's just hear with and without. So these are duplicated, the tracks, and here is without, and with the 10 ticks. I'll remove the. Let's put that negative delay back. Okay. Yeah. All right, you can hear that clicking, and just with the volume automation on that area right there, significantly quieter, and you can just move this around and try to find the sweet spot. Press play. Obviously Definitely not there. Yeah, still not there. Still missing it a bit. There we go. And you just follow along and you do the same thing on every bass hit roundabouts where it's affecting your signal. So that's two options to get it out of the way and not using anything other than stock, really just automation or a little bit of negative delay. A third way I found, which it's a mixture of the two, is we take this sub bass with automation and you get your general, you get the automation out of the way, or sorry, you get the bass out of the way using automation, and then what we're gonna do is take our original track, so you can duplicate it without the automation, and then add the automation in. And what we're going to do is, if we stack those two on top of each other, one with the automation and one without, with identical settings, identical plugins, identical in every way, we're gonna since it's just a simple sine wave, we're gonna phase them. And how we do that is, if I play them together, you hear that there's still that clicking happening, and those two bass sounds are summing together. But if we throw a gain plugin on one of them and we invert the phase like that, I don't know if you hear that, but now all you hear is that clicking. And most prominently is the clicking. I barely hear anything else happening. So if all I did was come up here, I had summed those tracks into one, and let's just create a MIDI region here. If I bounce that in place, and I'll just have normalization on, and we'll call that compressor click. Now what we've got is just the compressor click. Oh, come on. Here we go. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Like that. Nothing else, just the click. So if we take that and we open up our original bass signal, our original bass that didn't have the automation on it, and we play them together, still hear that clicking. But if we just put the phase back, there we go. All quiet. So that's two, and maybe a bonus way of getting that kick out of the getting that bass out of the way of the kick, and then getting that click sound gone. So let me know if you want me to do a follow-up to this, and thank you for watching.